wasn't on any map. Just a turn you took when your heart was too full to keep walking straight. The shore curved like a sigh, with waves that whispered, not loudly, but just enough to say, "You're not alone." Bottles, hundreds of them, scattered across the shore, half buried in sand or tangled in seaweed. Inside each one, paper curled like sleeping thoughts. Letters never sent, words never spoken, but still carried. They opened the first one without knowing why. The handwriting was shaky. The words, unfinished, "I miss you, but I don't know if I'm allowed to." It felt like their own voice from a long-forgotten part of themselves. They sat in the sand and opened more. Letters to old friends. Lovers never kissed. Apologies delayed too long. Some were bitter. Some were sweet. But all were honest. Honest in a way that only silence understands. One letter simply said, "I never said goodbye." And that was it. But in those 4 words lived an entire story. The person closed their eyes and let the words sink in. Not to fix, just to feel. They stood and walked the shore again. Now, each bottle wasn't just an object. It was a voice, a weight, a letting go. The sea didn't rush them. It received every memory like a gentle archive. At the far end of the shore, a driftwood bench faced the horizon. On it sat a box. Inside, a blank notebook and a pen. No instructions, just space. And somehow, that was more invitation than anything else. They didn't hesitate. They sat, opened to the first page, and wrote, slowly, not to be heard, not even to be understood, just to speak. And the page welcomed every word without question. They wrote to someone who never listened. They wrote to someone they still missed. They wrote to themselves. And when they paused, they didn't feel drained, they felt lighter. Not healed, but heard. A wave came up higher than before and took one of the old letters. Not one they wrote, but one they'd read. The sea read it too now. And maybe that's all that was needed, that someone, somewhere, witnessed it. They stayed until the sun was high, until the bottles glinted like stars in the sand, until the ache inside them softened into something quieter. Not gone, just held differently. Before leaving, they tore out one page and placed it in a bottle. No address, no name, just truth. And with care, they placed it on the water, watching it drift until it vanished beyond the horizon. They didn't leave to forget. They left to live, to speak the things they once held in, to write them when they couldn't speak, to feel them when they couldn't write. The words didn't weigh them down. They gave them wings. Somewhere in the distance, another letter washed ashore. For someone else. Because this shore was never just theirs. It was a place for anyone with a voice still trembling in their chest. And maybe, just maybe, that's what healing is. Not forgetting, but letting the ocean carry what we can no longer hold. Knowing someone, even if not us, will read it and understand.